Brother, what is going on, everybody? It's time for the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic. If I don't say it, Casey gets mad, so I gotta say it. We gotta say it. It's a slogan or something, or another tagline or something, or another something. It's something to gravitate towards. So we got TNA Impact Wrestling for 8/26, 2015, which was this Wednesday, and we had a pretty interesting show. I felt like overall the matches were kind of sloppy at times, and I felt like they shouldn't have been. It was kind of weird. Like I felt like some of them were kind of sloppy, and they really shouldn't have. Did you get your knockouts calendar over
No,
there or something?
no, no. I found my autographed picture of Velvet Sky that I got like 5 years ago. So
I,
I
th-
was
I
like,
thought I thought you weren't a fan of Velvet Sky. What happened? What
she was at the show and she was signing autographs, and
you know, it was a gift, really.
yeah, it was free, so I was like, okay.
Speaking of Velvet Sky, we got some interesting things to talk about with Velvet Sky. But first, let's jump into this Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, the Hardys promo. Um, Jeff apologizes for breaking his leg. Talks about how I thought that was pretty funny too. Talks about how he didn't believe, like people didn't believe in the Hardys, but we believe, the fans believed and whatnot. Maddie, Matt Hardy needs one more shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Um, and he says if he gets that shot, he will be the World Heavyweight Championship. Matt kind of backs off of that and says he's the man to carry Impact Wrestling into the future. Um, he says EC3 keeps saying no, but we keep saying yes. Uno mas, and I will become TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know where Matt Hardy learned Spanish, but all right, cool. He's well versed. I can see him carrying the company. He can speak Spanish and everything. So, well, that's fine. We got EC3 comes out. He says, to have an opportunity to share the ring with two legends, two people I looked up to, I couldn't be more disappointed. Match, you had your chance. I was victorious. These people want another match. Well, they're not getting it. And Matt Hardy comes back and says, some things about how EC3 is a coward and whatnot. EC3 says, well, if these people won't chant Matt for champ one more time, I'll give you a rematch right now. They obviously chant Matt for champ. The rematch, he says, rematch granted. If your brother wins, he gets the World Heavyweight Championship. But if I win, Jeff, he must become my personal assistant. Um, so yeah, there we go. We got some interesting stuff there with EC3 and Matt Hardy. I guess we're gonna get another EC3 Matt Hardy match potentially if Jeff Hardy wants to go with this. Um, I don't know about this personal assistant thing. I just don't know how far you can take a personal assistant storyline and how serious you can be with a personal assistant storyline at that. Any thoughts on this opening promo though?
um,
Oh, is that your thoughts? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no. I can hear myself. That's weird. Um,
Now you understand.
I, you know what? I don't want to hear your sass right now. Uh, but this was an okay promo. It wasn't anything too special. I didn't think. I laughed when Jeff apologized to the fans for breaking his leg. I thought that was pretty funny. Um, and I definitely want them to give, like I've been saying the past couple of weeks, I want them to give Matt a title run. But I think also they need to give him a little bit more of his own character and his own personality and kind of separate him a little bit from Jeff. Because I mean, if you think about it, it's always Matt and Jeff. Especially in TNA, it's always been Matt and Jeff. He doesn't even have his own personal music. He uses Jeff's music. You know, which kind of bothers me. Give him something to kind of stand out so we can say, okay, he could be the champion. Because if I, if he wins the title and I hear creatures, I'm gonna think Jeff. I'm not gonna think Matt. Um, but I like I like the promo. I don't like the match idea. To where if he loses, Jeff has to be his personal assistant. But I mean, it could bring up some interesting uh storyline things that can happen. But then again, like you said, how long can you take that? How much can you do with that? And it's not like every other wrestling company in existence ever hasn't already done that. It's nothing new. We've seen. I think Alberto Del Rio did it in WWE. We've seen it in WCW. I'm pretty sure we've probably seen it in ECW. There's not a company I can think of that you haven't seen this personal assistant storyline. But hopefully they'll actually give Matt a title run because he deserves it after all he, like I've said in the past, everything that he's done, that Jeff's done, he's pretty much done. He just hasn't gotten the recognition. But
I definitely agree. I think it would be interesting to see Matt Hardy get a chance, at the world title, and get a chance to really show that he has. I mean, because he's worked hard over the last little bit. I mean, even thinking about how much personally, he's worked. Just as probably about the same as Jeff. He's had those same personal demons to work with too. So next we got a video package on EY kind of taking on the Sarge. Their kind of rivalry that they've had, kind of what's going to get us to this match that we have tonight. Then we get an EY promo. He says, I can't be held responsible for what happens to you. I'm going to take the last good thing you have left, and I'm taking it now. Good promo from EY. I'm upset that he didn't say, look into my eyes, Mr. Sarge. I'm a little upset he didn't say, look into my eyes, because it's one of my favorite lines coming from EY. But, then we got the Jarretts coming into the arena. They basically say it's going to be a huge night for Impact, a huge night on Impact. Nothing too special. They don't want to give too much away. Wait till the end of the night. Want to give too much away too early. Any thoughts on EY and the Sarge or the Jarretts?
I just wanted to get this stupid EY Sarge match over with. I didn't like it from the moment that they called it, and after seeing the match, my initial thought was, okay, what the hell are they going to do now? Like, I don't understand. What are you going to do with this? Where are you going to go with this storyline? It doesn't make sense to me. It's just, I, I don't know. But, I mean, it turned out to be an okay match. It wasn't horrible, but I just didn't like the stipulation. I don't know where they're going to go with it. And as for the Jarrett's coming, I was excited because I was waiting for to see what's going on. I was waiting for a Jeff Jarrett heel turn because I could smell it. I could smell it coming. It was coming. So
Alrighty. So next we got EY versus Chris Melendez. Um, winner gets the prosthetic leg, I guess. Stipulation. I don't know. What was weird to me is the only thing that Melendez gets out of this match if he wins is a win over EY. He doesn't get any special like anything to put on his mantle. How come Chris Melendez can't have something to put on his mantle like EY's beard or something? Come on, TNA. You want to go with this body part thing? The beard's not a body part. Anyway, sentimental, whatever. Melendez being aggressive early though. Young was obviously going after the leg. Get the nice little bubble bomb by Melendez on EY. EY does rake the eyes though. Melendez reverses the corner splash into a roll up for a long two. EY hits the leverage pin and he uses the ropes to end up winning. Um, I So he does get the prosthetic leg, which I was like, I agree with you on the same like regard. I'm like, so now what? Because I expected them to give Melendez the win here, and then it would have kept the feud going. because Melendez would have had that win. EY obviously would have been mad because he got that win, and EY still wants to take stuff, so he didn't get what he wanted. Um, EY says, "You told me that that leg is mine. Give it to me. You said you're a man of your word. Give me your leg. I want your leg now. Give it to me." And as Melendez tries to give it to him, Eli just moves away as Melendez moves closer, kind of just more into his heel factor, I guess you could say. Yeah, and I just don't know what they're gonna do with this. If I feel like they had unless they're writing Melendez off of TV for some weird reason. I feel like they had somewhere else to go if Melendez wins, because Melendez does get that first win over EY. They continue the feud, maybe have like some kind of stipulation matches, not necessarily for the leg, but like hardcore matches or something to kind of continue this feud. But any thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I don't understand where they're going with this. I don't get it. Just and one thing also I didn't like is just a little thing, but after the match, initially just even the ref was trying to get the Sarge to hand over the leg, and I was thinking the ref would say you know come on EY, this is gone too far, because that's usually the refs usually kind of go more towards the face side. But I was like, wait, why do you want this to happen? I don't know. That's just a little thing that I didn't like. Just thinking about that, but I just I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I mean, is Sarge gonna come out next week or in 2 weeks, whatever, with like on crutches without a leg? Like, is he gonna is somebody gonna help him get it back? What are they doing with this? The only thing I was thinking that they can't do anymore is if the Dudleys helped him, because he came in with the Dudleys. They were the ones that trained him, the Sarge. But they're over in WWE now, so they can't go that storyline wise. uh you know um Anderson is in another feud, so they can't throw him in here. I just don't know what they're gonna do, unless they're just gonna have him, have another match without the leg, which I mean, I suppose they could do. Um, you know, that's how Zach Gowen did all his matches, was without the leg. So I just it's confusing as to what they're gonna do. I mean, they could be writing him off TV, but I just don't know.
Yeah, unless they do something where he wrestles without the leg and he ends up beating EY without the leg, so then that means the leg wasn't as much um, of a significant factor in this whole thing. I don't know. Maybe that's how they continue it, and then he ends up getting his leg back because he beats EY because EY gets upset or something. I don't know. I have no idea what they're gonna do with this. But next we get an X Division match. We get DJZ versus Sanjay Dutt versus Tigre Uno for the X Division Championship. The arm drag at the start was pretty sloppy. We got to a pretty fast start, but it just looked like DJZ and Sanjay Dutt were really like confused together. Like they didn't really like it. They had never worked together, or they were just really confused on what was going on. Nice flipping drop kick by Uno though. Springboard corkscrew is missed, and DJZ follows up with a nice backbreaker. The sunset flip for two by Sanjay Dutt. Tornado DDT, beautiful tornado DDT by Sanjay Dutt on Tigre Uno for two. DJZ gets caught in the German into the corner, which I like that move that Tigre Uno does, the German into the corner. And then we get the springboard frog splash by Tigre Uno on DJZ for the win. So Tigre Uno is still the X Division champion. I'm not surprised. I just felt like this match was kind of sloppy. It didn't feel as good as it probably should have been, especially with the amount of talent that was in the ring. Any thoughts?
Um, yeah, I didn't think it was a horrible match. It was a little bit sloppy. Um, and also one thing I would have changed about this match is I would have made it a fatal four way and add another member from Global Force. Make it make both sides even because every match it's been like either 3-on-2 TNA or GFW comes out and attacks everyone or something like. Just make it even. Make it so okay if we're doing a which it turned out that we are doing a invasion story. Make it so we are wondering, oh, one of these guys from Global Force could win the title and take, the X Division title over to Global Force. Then what are we gonna do? But if it's 2-on-1. Okay, it gives more odds to TNA, so it's not as we don't get as worried as fans. Like, oh, what happens? Um, and also, I think it could have been more of a fun match to see, another guy from Global Force in there because we've seen Sanjay Dutt in hundreds of X Division matches. It's not like we haven't seen him in X Division matches. Put somebody in there like Brian Myers or Corey Lee or something like that. Somebody that uh we haven't seen as much of, at least not in TNA in that type of X Division match. That's the only thing I would have changed about it. But it was a little bit sloppy. I don't know what the deal with that was. Whether it was just that they haven't worked together or what's going on. But they did say that I guess uh, Tigre Uno and DJZ worked together in, I think they said Mexico or Japan in the past, which was cool. But you know, uh, you know, he retains the title, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with that either. It seems like he's had the title for a while too, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, next we got a backstage little caveat, I guess, with the Revolution. James Storm says Mahabali Share is no longer a part of the Revolution. I want results. Um, he talks to Manic. He says, "If you dance like a monkey again, I will cut you down where you stand. Go bring the Revolution the gold." So basically, it's just um, getting the Revolution ready for the tag team title match coming up with the Wolves. Any thoughts on that?
No, but I meant Trevor Lee before. I said Corey. I don't know why. I must have been thinking Corey Graves because I miss him. No, but I, I don't know. I'm so confused with the Revolution too because I feel like they're trying to break them up, but then they kind of postpone it, and it's like, what are you doing? Are you staying together? Are you adding a new member? What's going on right now? I don't get it. I'm confused.
All right, so the next match is Abyss and Manic versus the Wolves for the tag team championship. I'm gonna give you this one. It seemed like it was one of the better matches of the night. I felt like, but I'll give it to you first.
Um, I'm gonna have to go with what I remember because my computer is an asshole and doesn't save shit. Um, yeah, it was a pretty good match. I was just thinking during this match that they really need to you know revitalize their tag team division again because it seems like it's always the same tag teams going for the titles over and over again, and they need to kind of bring some more guys in, bring some GFW guys in. Obviously, they're doing something long term with GFW. Bring them in, do something. But this was an okay match. I just I still don't necessarily like Abyss and uh fucking what's
Manic.
his name? Manic. I almost said Suicide. I almost went old school. Um no, it's weird seeing Manic and Suicide together in a tag team. I mean it makes sense in a way because you get the power and then you get the speed, but I don't know. I like, to I don't know. But part of me was upset because I knew the titles weren't gonna switch hands, so that kind of ruined it. Just the way the storylines were going, the way um, James Storm said, don't let me down, whatever. And the fact that the Revolution has kind of been on a losing streak recently. Losing Jinder Mahal and but it was an okay match. It wasn't too special. I feel like you said in the beginning of the show, a lot of these matches weren't anything really exciting, and some of them were kind of sloppy at points. I feel like it was just one of those weeks where we just don't get that great of a show, and we get that every once in a while. We just kind of get that average show that doesn't have anything too special on it, but um, it's all right. Thoughts on this match? Because your notes didn't get deleted by your computer.
I actually forgot that your notes had got deleted. I wouldn't have done you like that, but trust me, I understand about notes getting
Why you gotta
deleted.
do me like that? Why?
Sorry, sorry. I understand about notes getting deleted and computers restarting because they hate you and all that. I get it. I feel like the match pace really sped up when Manic came in, which I like. Abyss running was like the goofiest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so freaking ridiculous. I love how LaPope used a Elijah Burke reference. I don't know if you caught that, but
Yeah, yeah,
I thought that was funny. And Josh Matthews was like, I don't know who that is. I thought that was pretty funny. Um, yeah, Davey escapes the speed game of Abyss as Abyss is trying to run at him in the corner. They did the coast to coast in this match, which I thought was pretty cool. Storm did come out to distract, but Shara evens the odds. Obviously, they're continuing that little thing, which I like, and ends up running him off. I was actually hoping for a little sky high action on the ramp there, but we didn't get it, and I was upset. Um, and then we get the lifting round kick by the Wolves and the powerbomb backstabber combo. So the Wolves retain. I'm interested to see if maybe because I would like to see some of these titles retain, some of these titles change hands during this GFW TNA thing to at least give some sort of freshness to it. Um, you know, give us a feel that they can actually lose the title. So I hope I'm fine with them not losing the titles here, but I hope maybe something happens to where GFW maybe picks up the titles for some reason. Next, we get the Knockouts calendar video. Basically, they told us, it was going to be revealed later who was going to be on the cover of the Knockouts calendar. And then we get Jeff Hardy's answer. They didn't go all the way to the ring. They just kind of stayed at the ramp here. And they said, basically, Jeff says, no matter what, it's not going to matter because Matt is going to win. Matt for champ. So Jeff Hardy does accept the. It was weird because Matt Hardy's having the match, but Jeff Hardy had to accept the challenge. I was like, all right, I get it because I guess Jeff Hardy gets the brunt of what's gonna happen when Matt loses because he's facing the undefeated, undisputed, undeniable, all the other unwords that EC3 uses, champ. So it's gonna happen. It's obvious. Then we get a video package on why Jeff Jarrett may potentially be in charge after tonight, which was kind of interesting. Any thoughts on any of those things? You got Double J, you got another Jeff named Hardy, and then you got the Knockouts calendar.
I think we should call him that from now on. The Jeff named Hardy. I think it sounds epic. No, I don't really care about the Knockouts calendar because I've never bought it and I never will because it's a waste of money. I don't buy calendars anyway, so I'm not gonna. I don't know. Um, I felt like I understand they had to accept the challenge or deny the challenge, but I felt like this was a waste of time having them come out and do a little short promo. I was like, okay, we could have had a match, but whatever. It was funny that he kind of mentioned there's a lot of unknowns. How much does it pay? I was like, you you would have to be his personal butler, and you're wondering how much it pays. I what? Um, but you know, I don't know. I feel like Jeff does talk a little bit too much for Matt. I'm like, give Matt the mic, let him talk. Matt can talk. He can do it. Come on. Um, and then Jeff Jarrett. Again, I'm just waiting for that heel turn. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it.
Alrighty. So next we have Velvet Sky versus Brooke for the Knockouts title. Um, I don't know why Velvet Sky got a random title shot, but she did. I don't know why Velvet Sky got a random title shot, but she did. I was like thinking as she came out and she's like, high fiving the fans. I'm like, when did Velvet Sky become sane? Like the last time, remember when she first came back and she was feuding with Angelina Love and she was like crazy and like didn't know what was going on. Like, when did she become a normal person? Even last week, she was still a little bit off. But like tonight, she's like, "Yeah, guys, what's up? What's going on, guys?" I'm like, "What is this change? What is going on?" TNA continuity, come on. But a nice springboard lariat by Brooke, though. I like that. Russian leg sweep for two by Brooke. Brooke has the control outside. The dollhouse attacks, ends up attacking Brooke as she gets that control, and then moves on to Velvet, and then Rebel comes in to maybe save the day. So we thought, and then she kicks Velvet down. Again, she cuts her down, sort of like James Storm does to his Revolution, and then Terrence Terrell puts on the Titantron and basically says, that Rebel's a new member, new member of the Dollhouse. Remember, this is our house, the Dollhouse. So, um, I'm very interested to see what it's nice to see Rebel actually doing something. I feel like she's just kind of been there. She was with the Menagerie for a little bit. Um, she was with the Menagerie for a little bit, and it seems like now, at least maybe she'll actually be able to do something and not just be there on the Knockouts roster. Just post for the Knockouts calendar, and that's about it. So I'm glad that maybe they're trying to do something with her. I'm excited about that. So, and I guess maybe they're gonna give Taryn Terrell some time off for a little bit, and maybe she'll kind of take her spot a little bit there too. So I'm interested. I want to see where this goes. I still feel like right now the Knockouts division still, to me, fights like girls. I don't know if you understand what I mean when I say that. Like it's very like soft. It's just really girly to me. When I watched the Bailey Sasha Banks match at NXT Takeover, and they weren't like it didn't feel like it was a cat fight. It felt like a wrestling match. Whereas I feel like sometimes with TNA, and depending on who's in the ring, it feels like it's like a cat fight. It feels like it's just two girls going at it in the back of the school parking lot or something. But any thoughts on Brooke retaining her title by not knockout by DQ?
Yeah, I understand what you mean with the fighting like girls. They constantly do. I can hear myself really loud right now. What is going on right now? Why? I don't understand. It's really.
It's weird, isn't it? Trying to talk and hear yourself at the same time. It's weird.
I don't know. Anyway, I understand what you're saying. How they fight like girls. They always have this one move, and it happens in almost every knockouts match where they like do the lockup, but they like grab each other's hair and they flip around and land on their knees. And I'm like, what is that? Is that supposed to be a lockup? What is that? It just looks stupid. But anyway, what you forgot to mention is earlier in the night we got an update on Terrence Terrell. So just from that, I kind of the Rebel thing wasn't that much of a surprise to me. But anyway, this wasn't a bad match. I didn't think. I was actually surprised that at least to me, Velvet looked better than Brooke, which I never thought I would ever say. because I always hated Velvet, but I kind of like this gimmick that they're giving her. Just the jeans and the kind of it takes her away from that kind of typical the beautiful people gimmick. It gives her that a little bit more of an edge. I can kind of take. What do you what?
You hated this a month ago. I know you when she first debuted it. You hated it. I remember.
I
I
hated
remember.
it. I hated it because I thought they were just gonna give up on it like they always do. And plus, she was in a feud with Angelina Love, and just it wasn't. No.
That never ended, by the way. It
Yeah.
just like kind of randomly just stopped.
No. Yeah. But I mean, she. I feel like she actually has been getting better, which is something I never thought I would say. But the Rebel Cell just was horrible. I saw it coming from a mile away. Her cell was worse than John Stewart's cell at SummerSlam. I'm just saying. From the second I saw her come out, I was like, "Oh, she's the new member. Yep, that's what's going on right now." Um, and when Taryn came on the Titantron, I was just upset that they didn't even like show her hand. That was like she didn't show a hand in a cast or wrapped up or anything. So it's like, okay, did anything actually happen? Like, come on. At least with like WWE, they would have shown like a hand or something to say, okay, something actually did happen. But they didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, are we forgetting that she was, attacked in the back? But I mean, maybe they are giving her some time off, and maybe they'll, have Rebel kind of come in as that replacement leader. Uh, but then again, we haven't really seen Rebel really talk too much on the mic, so I don't know if she's gonna be a good leader for the dollhouse or what's going on with this. But you know, it was okay. Again, like you said, the knockouts division right now is kind of not anything exciting.
Yeah, obviously, she's fine. She's it's just high fives, high fives. We got this. We figured this out last week. We figured it out. Next, we got a little backstage, little segment from Anderson. Mr. Anderson, he talks about four of the greatest competitors. They ask him about his match. Four of the greatest competitors in the world. And it pans back to Drew Galloway, and he's upset about some information that he just found, which is more of the focus in this backstage thing than anything. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was confused as to what was going on because I was trying to think. Well, what's I knew that he had been attacked a couple weeks back, but I was like, okay, who's he in a storyline with? Who? What's? It didn't hit me until the segment later on with Jarrett that anything was going on with that. I was like, okay, what else are they doing with another storyline? I don't understand. But it was just a kind of a little bit of filler, otherwise for the show.
Indeed. So let's get to the main event of the evening. We have Mr. Anderson versus James Storm versus Bobby Roode versus Bobby Lashley. Battle of the Bobbies. Um, this was I thought this was actually a really good match. The winner would end up facing the King of the Mountain champion. I think next week, I think it is when they end up facing the King of the Mountain champion. But all members battled kind of outside of the ring to start out this match. It was kind of interesting because usually two go out, two stay in, but this time all of them went outside. Suplex on the ramp by Rude on Lashley. Anderson spitting beer in Storm's face. Lashley and Anderson start to work together. The commentators actually mentioned that how come Storm and Rude didn't work together first, which I thought was very interesting, and shortly they would. But Anderson goes for the mic check off of the handshake with Lashley, but that ends up in a standoff. You kind of get to see the chemistry between Storm and Rude here. They're kind of beer money chemistry. They battled so many times before chemistry, and it was pretty nice to see. We got a nice flying neck breaker by Rude for 2. Lashley taking out Anderson and Storm. The Tower of Power or Tower of Doom. Josh Matthews calls it the Tower of Power, gives Rude the advantage. Anderson goes for the Swanton, but he landed really weird on his neck. It felt like he kind of didn't land on his back. He landed more on his neck as he missed it. Explosive clothesline to Rude by Lashley. We get the Rude bomb reversed. Storm hits the lung blower on Rude. Power slam to Storm. Neck breaker on Lashley for 2. And then we get the mic check on Rude for 2. Storm gets taken out with the rolling senton by Anderson. Lashley hits the spear on Anderson. Super kick off of Lashley's spear attempt as he tries to go after James Storm. Double suplex. Beer Money taunt, which was pretty cool to see. The fans were really hoping Beer Money would reunite in this match. Um, Storm tries to go for the super kick, but it's reversed into the Rude bomb for the win. So Bobby Roode ends up winning this. I think this is interesting too, because if you think about it, Roode has kind of been on edge about not being booked, and he was the one that won this match, which was kind of interesting. So that kind of leaves the door open a little bit more. I feel like because he won, he's been in the background, kind of in this storyline too. So I'm wondering if maybe he's gonna end up turning, like maybe he'll end up like laying down for PJ Black or something next week, or end up winning and still joining GFW or something. I don't know. Any thoughts on the main event, our match main event?
I didn't like this initially. I just none of these guys really jumped out at me as they would have a really good match with PJ Black. Except maybe Anderson or Rude, possibly, but it's none of them really jumped out like, oh, they would have a really good match with PJ Black. Um, the Beer Money taunt kind of confused me just in the character wise because both of them are heels, and why would they randomly all of a sudden, oh, let's be buddy buddy and let's do the Beer Money thing again out of nowhere? It just didn't make sense to me logically. I mean, it was cool for the fans to see that again, but it didn't make sense in the match and in storylines wise. It wasn't like it was a friendly, you know, uh, match or whatever. They any other time they kind of hate each other now, you know. So that just kind of confused me. But it does make sense a little bit that Bobby Roode won. He has been kind of wanting to. He hasn't been picked for matches in a while, and he's kind of been complaining in the back. So it would be cool to see what happens, whether he, wins and then joins GFW, or, what's going on with that. Maybe PJ Black lays down for him and, they do something like that. But it's going to be exciting either way. I feel like they'll have a pretty good match, as long as they don't do something stupid, because, TNA does that a lot. They do stupid stuff. Stupid. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't a bad match, this match, but it confused me in the beginning. I was like, why?
Yep, it did. It was kind of confusing, but it feels like for a lot of these number one contenders matches and just matches in general, they've been kind of throwing people together. They don't have. I don't know if they have that top five anymore, but that would make more logical sense. If they use people from the top five or something. But I don't even know if they have that anymore because they don't have that show on Destination America. So next we have Brooke, Gale, and Velvet on the cover of the Knockouts calendar, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it, but congrats to them, I guess. EC3 interview. He talks to Matt Hardy. Says, "When I beat you, you are beaten." And Jeff, welcome to the world of EC3. So just addressing that, basically Matt Hardy did his thing and Jeff accepted and whatnot. They're gonna have a match next week for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So any thoughts on Brooke and Gale and the calendar and EC3 and his whatever stuff they're doing?
No. No.
Okay. All right. Quick and easy. All right. So next we get the Dixie Carter decision. It was weird because Dixie Carter came out with new music. which was kind of cool because before it was kind of her heel music anyway. The little her music from before was pretty much her heel music. So I'm kind of glad they changed it. It was more subtle. It felt like Galloway. They kind of discussed a little bit her and Jeff Jarrett, and then Galloway comes out before the decision can be made. Galloway says, "I found something in the security footage. You can't see a face, you can't see who it is, but you do see a getaway car, and it was two separate rental cars, and there was one name on both the rental cars." And he says the name was Jarrett, and he looks at Jeff, and he kind of talks to him a little bit, just why'd you do it, whatnot. Jeff Jarrett calls him a long drink of Scotland water, and I was like, "Can you repeat that for me? I don't know what that is. Can you repeat that for me one more time? I don't know. I don't know what that is." But we're trying to figure out. Well, he was like, "Who was it?" He asked Jeff, "If it wasn't you, then who was it?" As Jeff swears on his life, his family, his kids, me, the floor, everything. He says, "It was me." We hear from the background. At first, I thought it was Dixie Carter because didn't I didn't see anybody else. So at first I was like Dixie, but then it ended up being Karen Jarrett. She says she did this for Jeff Jarrett, his family, and GFW. She says one little spark can cause a giant inferno. Um, as Jarrett low blows Drew Galloway, GFW attacks Galloway. Spud tries to come out all taped up and stuff, but he's attacked, and GFW ends up standing tall at the end of the show. So this is kind of the start of our invasion that we thought we were going to get. I I feel like I like this. I like that this whole turn and this whole start of this officially. But my only thing is I felt like it took a little bit too long for the low blow to happen. I felt like as soon as she said one little spark starts a giant inferno, I felt like Jeff Jarrett should have low blowed him right then because it just would have. I felt like it would have connected a little bit more. Any thoughts though on this final segment of the night?
Um, yeah. When it came out that it was Karen, I was immediately let down just because it was like, oh, like I don't know, she just doesn't do anything ever. So it's like, oh, okay, what? You're not even a wrestler. You're not a part of your. It let me down for some reason. But when Jeff finally turned, I was happy. It made it feel better. He did kind of do the low blow a little bit late. I was kind of confused, but the one thing I really don't like is the GFW guys come out and they attack, and then I thought the Wolves came out too, but Robbie E comes out, Spud comes out to try to help. They take them out quick, and then I was like, okay, TNA has more stars and wrestlers that could come out to help TNA, on behalf of TNA, but nobody else comes out. Like even when WWE had the invasion with ECW and WCW, the whole roster would come out to help WWE. Where's the rest of TNA? Get out of here. Get out of here. It's just confusing. Where's the rest to come out to help TNA? Um, but I'm just excited to see what they're gonna do with this kind of invasion storyline. Which
Yeah, I agree with that. I was like, I kind of felt the same way because it feels like so we have GFW having like five of their people come on, or I don't know how many it is, like 7 or 8 or something like that, and then we have this set like number for TNA. No one else ever can get involved. I just thought that it's interesting. Like that. I don't know why they're making it so closed in. It feels so like half-hearted a little bit. But yeah, there we go. That was the TNA Impact Wrestling review for 8/26/2015. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty decent show. I feel like some of the matches are a little bit lackluster. I don't know what they're doing with Chris Melendez's leg. I don't understand. I don't want a prosthetic leg, so I don't know why EY wants one. Um, interested to see how
because
this is
he's
gonna.
the big game hunter.
Oh yeah, yeah. He must have played that game when he was a kid. That's where he got that from. Big Game Hunter. He used to play that game when he was a kid. Um, interested in EC3 versus Matt Hardy next week. I'm really interested because BFG is in Charlotte, so I feel like as much as I don't want this to happen, I feel like one of the Hardys is going to end up winning going into Charlotte or something like that because it is their hometown. So, and they're playing a big role in the world title picture. So I feel like at some point that's what's going to end it. I'm interested. I want to see where this GFW thing goes because I'm not sure if it lasts through Bound for Glory or not. So, but if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it's easy. It's easy. It's one click. It's one click, and you can close your eyes for the rest of the time. You can leave us a like so we know that you like the video or the podcast, whatever we're calling it. Because we're always an instant classic. So you gotta love us, right? You gotta love us. We're here for you. We're here for you. We got some stuff coming up. We got some football stuff coming up. Fantasy football stuff coming up too. So follow us on the Twitter, ICWP_podcast. If you can't see it, we will see you guys later. Casey, any final thoughts?
I'm more excited for this coming week's Ring of Honor. So yeah, because I just watched it earlier. You know, that's one thing that confuses me is the two channels that I have Ring of Honor on. One of them, shows the episode earlier in the week than the other one, and I'm like, uh so I kind of already watched it, but I didn't do the review. So, but I'm excited for that a little bit more than TNA right now, and NXT too. NXT is getting pretty good right now with everything going on. But I feel like TNA is kind of at a point where they're trying to rebuild everything with kind of losing the Dudleys with kind of everything that's going on. Jeff breaking his leg not too long ago. Kind of building up their divisions again. But hopefully they'll get back to where they need to get. I feel like with Jeff Jarrett coming back in the picture, it should get better because it was always a little bit better. I feel like when Jeff Jarrett was there, just because he has more of a wrestling mind, um, being a former wrestler. So I'm excited for it in the future.
Alrighty, guys. I will see you guys later. We will see you guys later on some other stuff coming up this week. Yes, Velvet Sky is here, just in case you didn't know. Um, thanks for that little tidbit from Casey. We will see you guys later, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.